We are so excited to welcome back to the show one of Canada's most dynamic global superstars, Kiesza, who has a new single out called When I'm Dancing, and also the release of Dancing and Crying Volume 3. Kiesza,
Yeah.
welcome back. Thanks so much for hanging
Thank
out with us.
you. Good to be back for volume three.
For Volume 3. So I want to start by saying, you have described the song When I'm Dancing as deeply personal. How would you describe this version of Kiesza in 2026?
Um, it's an interesting year, actually. It's funny you ask, because I had like a weird week this week where I was really thinking about my identity now, because it's just been such a strange decade, really. There's like half of it was just fully based on recovery, and then there was like the other half was coming out of recovery, but still kind of dealing with it. And then this year, I've been feeling like pretty good. And I realized that I don't actually know who I am as a not injured person. It's just defined my life so much. And my whole career has been just mapped around like the injury that I've had. And I never thought that, I always just look forward to the day when I was through a lot of the worst and it's starting to arrive. But I didn't realize how much of my identity was now just wrapped up in this kind of process of just being injured, and and it changes you a lot, but you don't fully recognize the change until you're on the other side of it. And so I'd be like, okay, I can do so much more now. And you think of, okay, back in the Hideaway days, sometimes you re-identify with the part of yourself that you thought you lost, but then when you step into those shoes again, it doesn't fit. And I've been having a bit of an identity crisis because, I have been gaining more energy. I can dance a lot more. I can do choreography a lot more. I used to do capoeira, which is a Brazilian martial arts, and I couldn't do that until literally this year I started doing it again. And so I'm having all these flashbacks to the past, and at the same time, I'm like, whoa, who am I? I don't even know who I am. And Dancing and Crying, the whole project really reflects this change. Kind of like me searching for who I am in these new shoes, and also going through life and going through pain, as we all do. We go through the ups and the downs. Dancing and Crying Volume 2 was made after the end of a really long relationship that I had, and just embracing my like sensual, sexy side again and being like, here I am. And then my dog died right in the middle of it. And then I was just like sad for the rest of the year. And then I was like, no, I gotta snap out of it, and decided to go into an analog studio and really make music like they did, back in the 60s. Live instruments and tape, and being on the deck and live recording reverb, and that was one of the best experiences I've ever had making music, honestly. It was so physical, like every aspect of it. And instead of staring at a computer screen all the time, which there obviously was a computer screen, but I was more facing a person playing a bass. We were twiddling knobs and playing with electric guitar and like running a bass through a synthesizer and just playing. Sorry, my dog he gets really jealous when I'm talking to other people. She starts knocking my hand. But and it was such a fun experience that I really fell into this sort of universe, or this paracosm that we created, and it really kind of held me and pulled me out of the sadness that I just experienced through my dog, and made me re-fall in love with music, even though every project I re-fall in love with music in a new way again. But this really just kicked me back into like, okay, I love this. I got energy again. I don't need to be a hermit and be sad forever. Like, I can heal. And I've been healing forever, so I do know that I can heal. But it really woke me up again, and I'm so grateful for that. And my producer Jess Cake, who was the main executive producer on this particular project, has just been one of my favorite collaborators ever. It really has this volume, and I love all the volumes really equally in their own ways, but this one was really special in the experience of the creation itself. I get sad that it's over, and I look at pictures and I'm like, I want to go back. Like, that was so fun. Like, even for the song Raining, I'm not sure if you've heard it because it just dropped, but
Hmm.
it was recorded through a vintage telephone. And literally, I had recorded another version, and I was just like, something's not working. It's like too pretty. Can we mess it up a little bit? And LP, this other producer who was in with us, was like, I got this old phone, and I was like, hook it up, let's do it, let's try. And the verses are all sung through an old phone, and it sometimes, like, destroying things makes them better. And it was all about that. It wasn't about perfection. It was about being gritty. And weirdly, it all came out pretty shiny, despite the fact that it was so gritty. And I fully put cowbell on one of the songs, and it was just like, it was so fun. Anyways, I'm rambling right now, but yeah. So I think the identity of Dancing and Crying is very tied to transition and searching for identity. And the first image that I put out with it was the disco ball egg, and the concept behind that was, underneath it all there's a light that's just either shining through or bouncing off, and it refracts in all these ways, but it's really just one source of light at the end of the day. And that's what these volumes are. They're just different reflections from the same source.
Now, as you and I are doing this interview, this is actually like release day for you.
Yeah.
So, how does that feel, like knowing that this project that you've been working on and love so much is now out to the world? Is there like anxiety, just joyfulness? Like, where's Kiesza feeling?
um I have been feeling overwhelmed this week because I decided to put my tour prep and my album release in the same week. And I was just like going through the week being like, why did I do that? That was a terrible idea. Um and then I honestly, like, I am the best in the studio. Like, that's where it just feels completely effortless. And I feel like I put out an Instagram actually of being like, in the studio I don't question anything. I just fully just flow. And when it comes to social media and like marketing myself, I'm like, what do I do? But I realized I should just do everything the way I make music. Not worry too much, have fun with it, throw things at the wall. Some things stick, some things don't. Evolve as you go. And it's not about really what other people's opinions are. I think the point of art is that people do have reactions to it, and I think the most important thing is that it is authentic. I feel like I like went off the question, but
That's all good. That's all good. Now, when I was watching the music video for the single When I'm Dancing, it felt like you were so free, and it just feels like the vibe is so free. Um, can you explain that? And then I guess also what it's like to wrap up this trilogy, because this is the end of this project now.
I don't know where it's on. We've been discussing this all day today. Everyone's like wrapping up the trilogy, and we're like, where did they get that from? Because I'm already almost done volume 4.
I read,
I'm
then
like,
I guess
but
I
I was
should
like,
have
we
tried.
are wrapping up the temporary trilogy until
Okay.
4 comes out. But it's funny. I also realized that people do think in threes a lot,
Hmm.
so I think they just assumed it's got to be done now.
Yeah, it must be, because
But
I guess that's what, like, I read that on the internet, so clearly that's not
yeah,
true.
we did too, and we were like, did we tell them that? Because I don't. I mean, I'm like 4 and 5 in the works right now
That's amazing. Okay, so then
simultaneously.
can you preface anything with 4, like, or is, like, because I think
Well,
it's amazing, because yeah, everything
4 and
seems like it's great.
5, 4 or 5 could be 4 or 5. Like, we
Okay.
haven't decided which one.
Okay.
They're different. One of them, it taps into my more acoustic side. So on volume
Yeah.
1, you heard like Strangers and The Mysterious Disappearance of Etta Place and Good Go Back. I don't know if you heard those songs,
Not yet. Nope.
but they're written on acoustic guitar
Hmm.
and then developed into dance tracks later. So
Amazing.
that was me introducing a side of myself that started me off as a musician. It was me on a guitar on a sailboat being a lullabyist for people on a ship. It's kind of a weird story, but that's how I began. And I have always kept that side of myself as my journal entries. And I really genuinely, I process my life and my emotions through music the way people would write in a journal. And they're so intimate and so personal, and they really bring me back to the moments that I wrote them in, that sometimes it's really hard for me to put them out. But then when I play them for people, they either burst into tears or they're like, that's my favorite side of you. I realize that like I'm kind of like hoarding this side of myself for myself. And yet it's the side of myself that genuinely just sort of like uh, unleashes into the music, because it's not that like I don't in the other ways, but because I don't have the intention of sharing it, it's as raw as can be. And it's hard for me. I'm very private. I do have a very private side of myself, so I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to go there. But I decided to start at least sharing that side of myself, and I started in volume 1, and then volume 2 became this sort of capsule of like sexy songs, and then volume 3 is just a bit of a mix and the analog sound. And so we're just not sure we're gonna get to the acoustic ones next, or if we have some more really wild ones and really fun ones, and they're all fun and they're all wild to an extent. But it's really kind of like, I guess, which one flows out of this one the most, and also which one we complete first. It really comes down to that. Like the song "Like a God" on this one, that was meant for volume 2, and I loved it, and I was just like, oh, I love this song, but it wasn't quite done, and we were a bit on a deadline, so that one made it into volume 3, but they kind of bleed into each other. And a lot of the songs on volume 4 or 5 were written during volume 1 because I was writing the acoustic songs. Again, never finished them or didn't get the production quite right and wanted to try them again. And some I was literally like, okay, I have 3 badass songs already on this one. I want to save some for later, because there's some that I'm just like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to put these ones on something for people. But let's just give them a moment. Yeah, so it's not like I like them less or more. I'm super excited. But you can only really focus, like when you have your focus tracks, you can only focus on a few at a time. So a lot can get lost, especially when you're an indie artist and they're just like, relying on no budget all the time.
Do you miss being on a label at all, or are you very
No,
happy? No, okay.
not even a little bit. Like when I have labels approach me and I like cringe inside, and it has nothing to do with the people, because I think the people on labels have been some of my favorite people. I've had good friends, and like I think people who get into music because they're passionate about it. But the structure of a label, the corporation of a label, the part of, a corporation is essentially a psychopath in terms of psychology. It's not a human, but it's an entity that holds people as products and doesn't see them as beings with a soul. And you end up like, at first there's this sort of honeymoon period where you get signed and your family and everything's excited and you're the new artist on the label. But in my case, I got signed, and then Shawn Mendes got signed, and then the whole label was only Shawn Mendes. It was like, and every other artist just was put on the back burner, no matter how good they were doing. And labels do that all the time. I'd say almost 95% of artists will get shelved. And it's not worth it for creative beings to be suppressed. You will implode, you'll go crazy, you'll be depressed. Our whole purpose as creators is to be free flowing and creating. But then they hold you like Pokemon cards. Like they collect artists like they're collector's items in a museum, and like, look what I got. And they don't see you as human. They don't treat you as human. So as an indie artist, it's hard in the sense that it's a lot more work, and I have to wear hats that I would say I'm not good at. Like, I'm really good at making the music. I'm terrible at like planning the social media rollout, but I'm like trying. I'm doing my very best. And as it grows, I can bring more people on. And as my biggest barrier was my health for a while, and that's changing now. So, but ultimately, I do believe music finds its people and finds its niche. And I have noticed people falling in love with different songs I worry sometimes about like my identity used to be so branded with the Reebok shoes and the mohawk hair and everything was just this 90s girl. All after my accident, it was like, again, who am I? I don't know, like the mohawk didn't feel right anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The Reeboks, I'd worn only Reeboks. I was like, maybe it's time for another brand, you know? And then I find myself today, I was wearing my old Hideaway shoes again, and I was like, these are cool. Like, I like these. Maybe I will bring them back. So I'm kind of
Do
in
you
a,
find that there's been like because I just feel like Hideaway like because it's such a great song and such a great vibe and such a good feeling around it, like it never goes away. How do you feel like cuz like you're going to have to sing that song till you die. You know what I mean? And are you good with that?
oh yeah. I mean, I think about it a lot. I'm just grateful that that's the song I have to sing till I die because like there's this one song that I would say I didn't even really write most of it. I may have edited a few songs. It was my producer kind of wrote it before I really got confident in myself as a pop songwriter because I've been such a folk songwriter.
Mhm.
But I had a very poppy voice. So he's like, why don't you try singing this? And it was about a song called Oops about getting knocked up. And I honestly, like, it's catchy and it's kind of funny, but I hated it. Like, and I think back and it could have gone viral had it been done in the right way, but for all the wrong reasons and nothing to do with my own identity. Like, I wrote Hideaway. I wrote Hideaway and it flowed out of me. It really was me. It was my soul just spilling out into a song. And because of that, feel good every time I sing it. And I wonder why I'm not sick of it yet. But I also like, I think the feeling I get when I sing it and the whole audience just gets so excited and I get excited that they're excited. And what I do is I sing it slightly different every time for myself and I dance it a little different. And I just try to play with Hideaway so that it's as new as it can be for myself every time. And there's a lot of people asking for another version. They're like, "Hey, are you gonna do it again?" And I don't know, maybe.
It's
But
never going to go. It's such a great song and like yeah, I
thank
think
you.
there could be many iterations. So I'm so happy for you that you have a song
Yeah,
that is like always going to be there and that you enjoy singing because I remember talking to Crystal Waters about Gypsy
I
Woman.
love Crips Crystal Waters. Ah,
She's amazing.
tell her hello for me. I
I will.
love
And
her.
actually, I'll just say this obviously during your interview, but like I hope you have a chance to see her I Am House Orchestrated show. I don't know if you've heard about that, but I saw it
No.
in Miami and it's her and like Cece Peniston and Robin S and like Anaya Day and like all these amazing 90s artists that are performing their hit songs to with an orchestra, like alongside an orchestra. And it's life changing. So we'll keep in touch and I'll let you know when the next one's coming because you have to go.
I got hired for a gig that the promoters just did not promote this gig, and it was with Robin S. Like
Oh,
it was just I was just like Robin S is playing.
yeah.
Oh yeah, book me. I swear to you, like 15 people knew about it.
Oh,
But it was like the people who knew about it were like, no, there was more than that, but it felt
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. It was like a big venue
Yeah,
with
yeah.
like hardly any people. And I was like, oh man, this promoter really failed Robin S. I was like, I didn't really care about myself at the time because she's like an icon.
Mhm.
She inspired me. The other month, she did that as I was cutting with a knife and I cut the tip of my finger off.
Oh,
So I'm like, this has got to change this behavior. But she started doing it now. And then she started pushing Malinois are so smart that you have to like, you have to think of them like a kid, like a toddler. So she looked, okay, my hand's not working. She was looking at what is this thing? And starts nudging it. Like, I'm gonna tip this over. Like, I want her attention for myself. So she's got great time now.
you got a great time now. All good.
Yeah.
So let me talk a little bit with you about going on tour. What can your fans expect from the tour? And like, how excited are you about heading out on this tour?
I'm always excited to head out on tour. Um, it's the show is always a continuation. If anyone saw the show last year or the year before, I get on stage, I perform, and then I'm like, okay, how can I enhance this, or how do I fit in the new music, and what songs do I cut, what songs do I keep to create the experience. And it's really evolved into this hybrid show. The first version of the Dancing and Crying tour was like drama kid playing dance music. I was like dressing up in costumes, like it was intense and amazing. And to the point where like I played for like an hour and 45 minutes. And some people got mad. They're like, "It's over now?" And I was like, "What? What do you mean it's over now?" Like, but it really, like, it was too much for me to like sustain that level of energy, especially with a brain injury,
Yeah.
for that many, like, day after day after day. So I was like, okay, I need to analyze what I'm capable of. But also, it had this sort of like start stop feel, which it is a dance show. And I wanted the audience to be dancing more, because when I'm like, hello, and like costumes, they're all like watching. Like I might as well just have seats in the audience. But then I noticed a couple songs where I just stood there and sang, and they just went crazy. They started dancing. So I was like, okay, I want a balance of me performing, but also them getting to dance to the music, because that is the point.
Mhm.
So it's been now curated like a DJ set, which is actually harder for me in the sense that like I don't like the show like has all these like it flows. There's no breaks.
Oh, wow.
So I don't get to stop. but but it flows really like a DJ set. Um so the dance experience doesn't end.
Oh, boy.
So yeah, I was like, why am I doing this to myself? I will say one enhancement we made is there are two places where if I really need to stop, I can take a break. So I need to just in case have the ability to go get some water, because I actually didn't have any water breaks, and I'm like, I do need water. So they're just like enhancements as I go, but it is a dance party. I tell people, like, please, you don't necessarily have to watch me on stage. I want you to just feel the music, dance. I end up in the audience. I end up, I was like on the bar singing before. Who knows what it will be this time, because we've bumped a bunch of songs out. It's so hard for me because every song's my favorite song. But 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 we always have the new Dancing and Crying project. We always play all the new music.
Okay.
A lot of people, they're like, one song from the new project. I'm like, you're getting all the new stuff.
I have to speak about, so I know you have certain dates. At the moment, you're not coming to Montreal, but I know that you have a special relationship with Montreal.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about how you feel about our city and the fact that we are such a dance culture in this city? Like, I feel like when it comes to across Canada, I think we kick everybody else's butt when it
Oh,
comes to dance culture.
Montreal always holds the record for the most energy in Canada. And I think it's because Montreal, like, yeah, it is a dance culture, and they know how to dance. And then they give themselves permission to dance. I think a lot of people are like, should I? I don't know if I should, or how should I dance? They get in their heads about movement, whereas in Montreal, I don't know what's going on there. They just like they go wild. And it's the best energy, and all of my favorite shows, like every Montreal show that I've ever done has made the list as one of my favorite shows I've ever done. Including, I did a ukulele tour when I was really injured, and I just thought everybody would think I was crazy, but it was all I could do at the time. Montreal was just eating it up. Even when I wasn't dancing, they're just like, ukulele, we love you. And I just felt so received by Montreal. And I'm a huge crepe lover, so I go to Montreal and I just eat tons of crepes. And the city is beautiful and inspiring in the way that I find Europe is very inspiring.
Mhm.
It's nice to look at. I think people are very artistic and also passionate about the arts.
Mhm.
So you get these really cultured people who are like have diverse interests in art, not just music, like in many areas. So also the conversations I have in Montreal, I find they just span in so many directions. I love it. Like okay, I once went to Montreal to work with one of the producers of Death Cab for Cutie. and we just talked every day for 10 hours and didn't write a single song because we had so much to talk about. And I regret that to this day. I'm like, why didn't we write? But we couldn't stop. We had so many interests, and it was just like, that's what I love about, I mean, that is the pinnacle of what I love about people and the culture in
Would you ever
Montreal. But
move
also,
here?
you sometimes don't get anything done.
Yeah. Would you ever move here, like, even just for half a year just to, like, work on music? Like, would you ever do that?
I'd love to. We were talking about that actually, like where, like we've been doing all the dancing and crying. Actually, it was the first one was done partially in LA and partially in Toronto. The second one was done in Toronto. The third one was done in Toronto. So we're like, maybe we should go somewhere else for the next to finish the next one. So I don't know if you know any like retreat spaces or studios if you want to. Oh, the farm.
The farm has great acoustics.
Do you have
Yeah.
room for a few of us out on
Yeah.
your
And
farm?
definitely after we're done recording, I'll give you a few ideas about, like, places you could maybe record here. Because, like, I think I'm actually, I think, surprised you haven't come here yet to do, like, a stay, like a long-term stay. I feel like this could be your city.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm like kind of wondering if my time in Toronto is should I'm a mover. I mean, musicians were always on the move, so I'm always like maybe I just up and moved to Norway for 6 months
Yeah,
one
I remember
one
that.
year, and best decision I ever made. It kind of gave me all the inspiration for Dancing Crying Volume 1.
Amazing.
So yeah, Montreal. I'm open. I'm always open.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
I did want to ask about um your fans because, you know, like, I've been with you since you started, and, like, since you
Oh,
came to
thank
our
you.
attention, and so, and I know you have, like, thousands and millions of people that are in the same boat as me. What have your fans given you during the time where you couldn't fully be, um, as you were? Like, I don't like, did you feel like hopefully there was some sense of carrying you forward?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of fans who just stuck it out and embraced everything I put out and really like dove into the story. It was funny, like the other day, I was, you ask for some help sometimes, like, because I'm just not like created for the social media culture, even though I have fun with it. But but just being like, hey, listen to my music, I'm just like, yeah, you'll find it. But someone was like, hey, let me like try to help you do some social media and wanted to show me some stuff. And I honestly felt very uncomfortable. But in the process, I did one of those like interview things. And I don't think I'm gonna post this content because it's just really not me. But they're like, go and interview a girl about like music or whatever. And I walked up to this girl and then she felt a bit awkward to be on camera too. And I was like, this is awkward. Why are we doing this? And then she's like, you look so much like that girl who did Hideaway. And I was like, really? And then, and then I was like, is it that song? Do you mean the Take Me Higher Than I've Ever Been Before? And she's like, oh my God, yeah, you sing it so well. And I was like, yeah, that's because that's me. And she just looked at me and like starts bawling her eyes out.
Aw.
And she's like, oh, like, how are you doing? Your story, like, I've been with you since the whole car crash. Like, I've been following everything you've been doing. Like, I know your whole story. And just hearing that she was one of those fans who was like sticking it out and like knew all the new music and it wasn't about just Hideaway. It was about like I really support this being and the struggles she's going through and like trying on new hats and like everything. And that's what you want as an artist. Like that's what major labels don't give you. They're like, stay in your box forever. But some of your like best fans, they just embrace the being that you are. And maybe it's not their favorite song, but they love your essence and like the part of you that is the creator, and they trust your journey. And so I always give them something that's like I always give them the dance music because I know they love the dance music. But I have other stuff too. And I would say they gave me hope because they gave me something to come back to. I think had they just abandoned me and there was nobody there, I would have maybe felt hopeless returning to music because the industry did. The industry was like next. But my fans were like, "No, you got this. We're here for you. Like, we'll never leave you." I have one fan who runs a Kiesza fan page who's just still running it. Like, I've been here. Don't I've been here since day one. They're from Italy. And I'm like, how could I ever forget you? You've literally like never left me. Like, And I have this relationship with a lot of them that they mean a lot to me. I mean a lot to them.
Mhm,
And I think that's really what I'm going for now. It's not
mhm,
just the masses necessarily. I think that's where my identity is, like, realizing, especially with going through an injury, you realize that, like, not everyone in your life is beneficial to you. And not everyone really cares about you and is there for you. And when you go through your worst, the people that stick around are the ones that truly should that you should be there for, at least.
mhm.
Fans are the same way. Like, some are like, when I it's hard to get algorithms are so weird right now. Like, they don't even get to my fans. I literally have my poster out, and some people are like, "Please come to like Washington D.C." And I'm like, "Do you not see the poster? It's on there. Like, how are they not getting the message? How
Yeah,
do I get it to people?" And it makes me sad because then people who maybe don't even love my music that much, or just saw an ad, or like, it's my core fans don't always get the message, but I really want them to be in the room with me. It's really important to me that they know about everything. And and just expanding this relationship with this niche of people who are just authentic themselves. Um yeah, I'm really lucky. I have such a cool fan base. It's not just like it's not, I think because I haven't branded, I've kind of anti-branded myself. So
mhm.
it's just cool people who like are all types of people, and they're very diverse, and it's made it difficult to do business because we're like, I don't even know who your demographic is. Like, who are they?
Yeah, but I
Get
think
like an
but I
85-year-old woman, and then we had a 6-year-old, and you know, like,
but that's awesome because I think you remind me of certain artists that take care of their fans, and that means you'll have a fan for life, and, like, I think Mariah Carey does that with her fans. I think
oh
Janet
yeah,
Jackson does that with her
yeah,
fans. There's just artists that understand their fans, and the genre and the demo is wide. Like you said, you could have a 9-year-old and you could have a 65-year-old. It doesn't
yeah.
matter. So I think keep being you because it's clearly working,
Thanks.
and I think you have such a authentic, positive vibe. Your fans are never gonna leave you.
I hope so.
Yep,
You hope that, you get into a relationship and you hope it lasts forever, but
yep,
you never know.
yeah. Well,
And
I think you're good. Now, I wanted to ask you, a couple of fast fact questions. Um, what city has the best dance floor energy in the world?
I haven't been to every city in the world, but I will say Brazilians know how to party. And they go crazy, and I get a bit intimidated because they dance more than I dance. So I'm
That's
like,
a
"Oh
lot of
no, I
dancing.
have to, like, they're outdoing it. They're outdoing me." Yeah. And then I went to Russia, and I have so many fans in Russia, and I didn't understand the culture, and they all just looked at me like the whole show, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, they hate me." Like, this is, and I got so intimidated, so I kept trying to perform better, and I'm like, like, how do I make them smile? Like, what am I doing wrong? And at the end, they're like, "That was the best performance I'd ever seen." I was so confused, but then I learned that that's just how they receive performances. Like, they
Okay.
really just take it in. They don't necessarily, like, dance amongst each other in those
Yeah,
settings.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
so I don't know. You got to really just embrace the culture. I realize, like, before I go somewhere, I really have to look into their cultures and
Yeah,
how they experience dance music, or just performances in general. Like,
that's
people have told me in Japan, they're very polite and they might not applaud, but that doesn't mean anything.
good to
So,
know. Good to know.
yeah, so I don't know. It's hard to say that one area is the best
Yeah,
dance floor, because I think ultimately when you're dancing, however you dance, and as long as you're dancing alone, I mean, I solo rave all the time, but also there's nothing better than dancing with people. It doesn't
mhm,
matter how you dance. It's just the fact that you are dancing. I think that matters.
yeah. Do you have a favorite song that you like to perform here in Montreal? Like, is there one that you like? I'm sure Hideaway, obviously, but like, is there something that you're just like, this is always gonna get you crazy reaction?
Montreal really loved Giant in My Heart.
Oh yeah,
Of
we
course,
did.
they love Hideaway, but they really embraced Giant in My Heart, I think, as much as Hideaway. I don't know if to this day they still
Mhm.
do, but that one really hit hard
That
in
was
Montreal.
yes.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
So
Um, how would you like? Is or I should say, Is there a top 40 pop song right now, that you know that you wish you had written or co-written? Is there something right now, like, on the
Oh
radio that you're
gosh, there's so many. I mean, so many Michael Jackson songs. So many Queen songs. There was one I specifically did say, and I'm blanking on it right now. Um, you mean right now, like at this
Yeah,
moment,
is there like, who is Kiesza listening to right now when it comes to pop radio? Like, do you have like, are you listening?
I I'm honestly been listening to Mozart.
That's fair. That's
I
good.
I actually been feeling like I need to just well, okay, so I did an orchestra show
Mhm,
2 years ago,
mhm,
and it was such a profound experience working with the orchestra that I thought I'd love to do a symphony one day. And I started listening to classical music again. I was raised on classical music, being in ballet and being in classical piano.
mhm,
But I was just so much reminded how incredible it is the way they flow through keys and transitions and chord changes. And there's so much in classical music that can translate to modern pop and
mhm,
dance. And I'm actually exploring classical music again just to like fill my brain with more notes and more like just more sonic information again so that I can be more creative when I come back to the studio. And then I do, it's funny because when I create my own music, I actually stop referencing pop culture in the process, just because I don't want to be directly pulling from what's out there right now. So if I have heard it,
mhm.
it could slip in, you never know.
Yeah,
But I really like just to flow out of myself in the moment. But it's important to take everything in. It's not like
mhm,
you should always be listening to what people are listening to.
yeah.
I love what's going on in the UK a lot. UK garage, like jungle was I
Oh,
was
yeah.
inspired
Oh, yeah,
by.
they're amazing. Yeah, yeah.
I'm a piano. I'm really into a lot going on in Africa.
Mhm,
Um,
yeah.
um,
Is there a Canadian artist right now in the pop world that you would love to collaborate with that you haven't yet?
who I've been talking with actually FeFe Dobson.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we met at an Avril Lavigne concert for the first time. And then we ended up just like really like liking each other and we have a concept for a song and we've been talking for about it for a while. It's just that Fifi I think moved to Nashville or
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I interviewed her
yeah,
there
so I
once.
got to get my butt over to Nashville cuz
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that move there and they keep being like get your butt to Nashville.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't
That's
want to give away the title yet
that's okay. But I
because
love I
it might get out there and someone else will write it, but
yeah, yeah.
but it really relates to our personalities and I don't know, I think she's a very she of course she's not underrated because she was massive,
Mhm.
but I think she is underrated now. I
Okay, yeah.
think her talent and her live performance abilities and her like personality, she's just the coolest person ever. I met her and I was just like, whoa, she's cool. I feel very not cool in her presence. I feel that way a lot because I was a nerd in school. I was like the weird theater kid who like was socially awkward. So I carry that with me. You always carry some of the insecurities from your childhood with you for life. So I'm just like, whoa, they're cool. And then
Well,
forget that people
I'm
think
loving
I'm
this.
cool
If we
now.
get a Kiesza FeFe Dobson collab, I'm all over that. So that's
I hope
amazing.
so. And it's not that it's not going to happen. It's just we gotta like her and I need to be in the same room when it happens
Yeah.
because where we ignite like fireworks with each other. We're just like
Yeah.
pew, 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 and, and with the right producer and the right musicians in the room, I know we'll make something just epic and I really look forward to that. So that's a collaboration that just by bumping into her a few times and then really getting to spend time with her, I got excited about working with her as an artist.
Yeah.
Um, and there's so, I mean, there's just so many amazing Canadian artists. I've been
Mhm.
talking with a lot of different ones. I don't want to like, I don't know. It's for me like there's been like big artists I've been in the room with, and I we didn't vibe.
Yeah.
And then I find a musician that nobody knows about. I just met a girl busking in the subway, with the most incredible voice, and I was just like, how are you like, how are you not out there right now? Like, you're one of the best voices I've ever heard, and when
Mm,
we're talking about collaborating together, and I don't really have this sort of like they need to be famous, you
yeah.
know.
No, no, that's fair.
It's just someone who inspires me,
Yeah.
and a lot of the people that inspire me are completely unknown artists, really.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair. Before I let you go, I have to get a message from you to your Montreal fans, please.
yay. I promise I will come back to Montreal as soon as I can. I know if you missed my show on the last tour, I will make a point to come back again. Thank you for being the best fans throughout the years, and yeah, I just can't wait till we're all like in a 3D space together, just dancing our butts off.
Amazing.
Merci beaucoup.
That is Kiesza. Do not forget to check out her new single, When I'm Dancing. Also, the new Dancing and Crying Volume 3, which is out
Yeah.
today as of our recording. And you can follow Kiesza on socials at Kiesza. And of course, check out her website, kiesza.com.
Yay. Thank you.
Kiesza, you killed that. Thank you so much. It was
Thank
so
you.
great to hang out with you.
Likewise, always. And I really appreciate your support.